Do you remember the first time you dared to dream? It might have been a vivid vision, a spark of inspiration, or an ambitious goal that you wanted to pursue. Whatever it might have been, I want to tell you that dreams are not meant to remain in your imagination. They are meant to be unleashed into the world, to grow into something more tangible, something that leaves an impact. Today, I want to share with all of you my own dream and the journey of turning an ardent vision into reality. I'm Harpita Pandian, a young entrepreneur, an educator, and a passionate changemaker. My twin brother, Harpita Pandian, and I founded an Edtech company, Classminds, in 2019 with the vision of helping students upskill their language, communication, and life skills. Today, we lead, teach, and cherish a global community of over 8,000 students from 15 different countries around the world. Now, our story as young entrepreneurs has been featured in several national media coverages, and we've been recognized globally for our impactful work. But my purpose today is not just to share the story of success, but to highlight some of the key obstacles on this bumpy journey and show you how the path to success is definitely not a straight line, but instead a winding, unpredictable adventure. Stage 1. Age as a barrier. For the first time at the age of 12, my twin brother and I stepped into an enormous co-working space in Bangalore, a city that you might regard as the Silicon Valley of India. The workspace was buzzing with hundreds of business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors. I could hear the clinking of coffee cups, the occasional bursts of laughter, and all the excitement in the air. People were typing away at their laptops, they were brainstorming with sticky notes and whiteboards, and some people were pitching their startup ideas in these fancy conference rooms. Now, the receptionist who greeted us was definitely a little surprised. In a room filled with hundreds of business professionals with years of experience, you seldom expect to see a bunch of passionate 12-year-olds standing before you with an ardent business venture. Now, as a young entrepreneur, your first mountain to climb is to be heard, seen, and taken seriously. About 4 years ago, when my Edtech company was just an idea, I remember networking with a lot of entrepreneurs and investors. Now, on most occasions, people were inspired and encouraging. On some occasions, however, people would take one good look at us and ask, "Can you even spell the word entrepreneur?" Now, joke's on them when they realized that my twin brother and I are actually spelling bee champions. In another instance, I remember sharing how I wanted to make an impact on 1 billion young people when someone asked me this very important question: how many zeros are there in 1 billion? I know some of you are counting in your heads right now, obviously 9 zeros. Now, as a young entrepreneur, it's not uncommon to face doubt and skepticism from people. People will question your abilities, your experience, and whether you're truly ready for the entrepreneurial journey. But trust me, you will soon find a community of people who always support you. During the early stages of my entrepreneurial journey, I stuck by one important truth. Yes, I do care about numbers. I care about the number of people that I impact. I care about the numbers that I turn. But one number that I do not care about is age. Now, it's time that we realize the incredible potential that young people can bring into the world of entrepreneurship. Most people believe that young people lack the leadership skills necessary in order to make a meaningful impact. But I believe that leadership is not solely a product of age and experience. No, it's rooted in the vision, your charisma, and your ability to guide and inspire others towards one common goal. Now, I realize that we ingrain these limiting perspectives into students at a very young age with this question: who do you want to be when you grow up? But a question that I'd like you all to ask yourselves today is, why do I have to put aside my dreams and passions until I grow up? Why can't I dare to chase them right now? Now, I realize that there are 3 key things that we need to help young entrepreneurs chase their dreams today. We need more entrepreneurial ecosystems cultivated at schools. We need more funding and investment in student-led startups. and we certainly need more mentorship programs to help guide young entrepreneurs. I will never forget my first business pitch at that meeting in Bangalore years ago. I was just 12, but I felt confident, empowered, and capable enough to turn my vision into reality. I truly believe that if we can change our perspective of young people from incapable to capable, we can help empower every student entrepreneur and lend a helping hand on their journey to success. Remember, sometimes all we need to do is to believe. Stage 2, the unexpected. In 2019, my twin brother and I had a solid plan. We had identified a crucial skills gap in the language competency, and now we were ready to kickstart our Edtech company. After spending a summer at IIT Chennai with the Thai Young Entrepreneurship Program, and with a lot of useful advice from our experts and mentors in Bangalore, we felt more ready than ever to kickstart our career as young entrepreneurs and make an impact across India. Now, everything was fine until the pandemic hit. Our initial business plan consisted of rolling out modules offline and partnering with schools across the country. But with lockdown measures in place, schools being closed down, and absolutely nowhere to go, we realized that our plan wasn't going to work. In that moment, I told myself that we had two choices. One, we could wait until the pandemic is over and start again next year. Or two, we could reinvent our business model and dare to chase our dreams right now. So which choice did we choose? Now, today I realize that a fundamental aspect of being a successful entrepreneur is to learn how to adapt to the unexpected and transform any crisis into an opportunity. But the first time I truly learned the power of adaptability was not during my journey as a young entrepreneur, but instead during my journey as a student. There have been many experiences in my life that have shaped me as a leader, but I never once thought that an experience so trivial would teach me such a significant skill that I would later put to use on my entrepreneurial journey. I want to take all of you back to an inter-house drama competition I took part in when I was in grade 8. So the point of the competition was simple. We were divided into teams, provided with the script of a play, and we had to enact this play in front of students, teachers, and judges. The team that put on the best performance took home the winning title. It seemed like an easy task at first, until I realized that our team was going to face a lot more challenges than we had expected. First of all, the script was wordy, complex, and difficult to memorize. How were we going to act all of this out if we couldn't even memorize our lines? Secondly, we all lived so far away, and we had a billion things going on, so we had no time to practice. Now, I remember looking at the other 3 teams and seeing how organized and prepared they were. I even remember looking at how confident my twin brother's team was and thinking to myself, how am I going to make this work? Again, I had 2 choices. I could either accept my circumstances or transform this crisis into an opportunity. There were only 3 days left until the actual performance when I decided to get rid of the original script and type my own for my team. The drama teacher was a little skeptical at first, but then agreed to let us use our creative ideas. So I rewrote the script, I changed up the plot, and we practiced it a couple times. Now, the day of the actual performance, I still felt that our team was greatly underprepared, but we were going to try our best. Now, during the actual performance, guess what? Some of us forgot the original lines, but we quickly spun up some jokes to keep the audience engaged. But in the end, never did I believe that my team would end up winning the competition. So what did I earn from this experience? A certificate? A round of applause? Some extra house points for my team? Yes. But more importantly, I learned the skill of adapting to the unexpected and knowing how to transform any crisis into an opportunity. That day, I realized what it meant to be a true leader. So coming back to my previous question, which choice did we choose? My twin brother and I immediately realized that there was an untapped opportunity that we hadn't thought of before, the global e-learning space. So we created Plan B and kickstarted our Edtech company during the pandemic in 2019, starting off with online modules and courses for students. Now, today, we realize that our initial obstacle was actually a blessing in disguise, because without kickstarting our Edtech company online, we would have never been able to make an impact on 8,000 students from 15 different countries around the world. Often on Sunday mornings, we'd be taking courses for a group of students in Switzerland, New Zealand, Singapore, India, and we could not be more proud of this diverse student community that we have built. That being said, in 2022, our vision of making a mass impact in person came true when we secured a partnership with one of India's most prestigious group of schools, and we were able to conduct a spelling bee for over 4,000 students across the state. So I guess you could say, yes, both Plan A and Plan B worked out in the end. I realized that adapting to change isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. It's about learning how to turn your obstacles into stepping stones and your setbacks into comebacks. And whether you're a young entrepreneur or not, trust me, this is a skill that every young person today must have. Stage 3, standing out. Earlier this year, I had the immense privilege of being invited to the Teach for India conference in Hyderabad to meet with an amazing group of people who are working on expanding educational opportunities for children with a powerful mission of ending poverty through education. Now, I had the opportunity to interact with a group of teaching fellows and listen to their own stories of how they were making an impact in their classrooms. There was one particular presentation, though, that struck me the most. One of the teaching fellows was describing how so many students in his class could not read basic English sentences at their grade level. And he knew that simply asking the kids to read more books would not be useful, because the kids couldn't understand nor recognize what the words meant. Now, with this problem on his hands, he knew that he had to come up with a unique solution. The teaching fellow showed my brother and I a set of worksheets, all decorated with doodles, drawings, and fragments of words. At first, I was really confused, until I realized that the students were improving their reading skills by visually drawing out what the words meant. So for example, they would draw out little doodles of people to recognize nouns and names. And they would draw out little smiley faces to recognize words with positive emotions. What was amazing now was that the process of reading itself was not a passive experience anymore, but it was one that encouraged students to engage with the material, be focused, and also be creative. I remember looking at the worksheets for a long time and thinking to myself, this is exactly what being a young entrepreneur is about. It's about taking the conventional problem and using your creativity to come up with a unique, unconventional solution. Now, this truth became loud and clear. Entrepreneurs, they're not just people who run businesses. They are people who embody an entrepreneurial mindset in order to drive change and to make a difference. Now, just like this method of teaching kids how to read, I realized that a successful aspect of an entrepreneur is to have a unique factor that sets you apart from the crowd. Think of the business world to be this huge library with thousands of books. Now, as a successful entrepreneur, you want your business to be the best book in that library. You want your business to be the book that people are rushing to read and the book that people will never put down once they start reading. How do you do that? This brings us to the challenge of finding your USP, your unique selling proposition, or simply, what makes you different. So what was our USP? Now, my twin brother and I realized that we had to transform the conventional way of learning in the language competency. How did we do this? By introducing a novel, gamified approach to learning. We ran buzzing competitions alongside insightful workshops so that students not only learned using the right approaches, but they also actually enjoyed the learning process. We provided innovative learning material and assets that help kids even as young as 5 years old learn independently. And this is what made us unique. We received amazing feedback from students, parents, and teachers around the world for the value that we were providing through our Edtech. In fact, my twin brother and I barely ran any ads. Most of our growth came through word of mouth because people could see the difference that we were making. So no, we didn't have to mislead our users. We didn't have to put up ads such as 13-year-old Wolf Gupta gets a 20 crore job at Google, your child can too. We didn't have to do all of that. Why? Because we always stuck to our true values and highlighted what made us unique. Furthermore, my twin brother and I were also very big on making a social impact. And over the past few years, we've helped thousands of underprivileged students across India upskill themselves. We could not be more proud of the difference we've made in the sector of education. Now, the bumpy road to success in entrepreneurship is definitely a journey worth taking. Why? Because it is a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and growth. As a student entrepreneur, I found myself juggling between school and meetings and exams and work countless times. But these experiences have taught me how to manage my time a lot better. And once you master the skill of time management, a lot of the things that seemed impossible will soon start to seem possible. When you strive to create a mass impact, you will discover a sense of confidence within you that you never knew existed. And you will use this to make a difference in this world. I want to thank some of the most important people in my life for helping me through my own odyssey to success. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. Now, all of us here, at some point in our lives, are going to face important truths and will have to dare to take bold steps. So my final question to all of you is, what is your truth and what daring choices will you make on your own odyssey to success? Thank you.